So, Peter, what's happening? I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. So if you could be here around 9, that would be great. Okay? Oh, and I almost forgot. I'm also gonna need you to go ahead and come in on Sunday, too. Okay?
In 1999, Mike Judge was at the height of his creative power. However, the road to get there started with complete disillusionment. In the mid-1980s, he had gone to UC San Diego thinking he'd become a scientist. Staying around California, he was there just in time for Silicon Valley's first startup boom. He got a job at a video card startup called Parallax Graphics, but quit within 3 months. He said, "The people I met there were like Stepford wives. They were true believers in something, but I never knew what." He then became a bassist in a traveling blues band, Anson Funderburgh and the Rockets. In 1990, Mike Judge decided to try his hand at animation. The character he created and voiced was an office worker named Milton. Milton is constantly harassed by his boss Bill, who continually asks him to move his desk.
Oh, hello, Milton. What's happening? I'm going to need you to go ahead and move your desk again. So, if you could go ahead and just get it as far back into that corner as possible, that'd be terrific.
But
That way we'll have some more room for some of these boxes and things we need to put in here.
well, okay.
And, there's that stapler I've been looking for here.
Judge entered the short animation, Office Space, into an animation contest. It soon got picked up by MTV's Liquid Television and then by Saturday Night Live. Milton was turned into a recurring series of cartoon shorts. Another short film Mike Judge made, Frog Baseball, marked the first appearance of Beavis and Butthead. MTV developed it into the culturally ubiquitous series. And finally into the feature-length Beavis and Butthead Do America in 1996. In 1995, after becoming a cultural presence, Mike Judge worked with Simpsons writer Greg Daniels to develop a new pilot for Fox. This pilot became King of the Hill, with Mike voicing Hank Hill and Boomhauer. When King of the Hill was finally premiered in the 1997-1998 season, it outperformed even The Simpsons, which was in its 9th season. Mike Judge had cemented his reputation as a cutting and prescient cultural critic and satirist. More than a decade after leaving Silicon Valley, Mike's hatred of the yuppie nightmare was still burning strong. As Mike had struggled to make ends meet in Silicon Valley, at the heart of the supposed tech utopia, he had a neighbor who was a car mechanic who seemed much more comfortable in life. These ideas turned in his head as he developed a pitch for a feature-length Milton movie.
But I said I don't care if they lay me off either, because I told Bill that if they move my desk one more time, then I'm quitting. I'm going to quit. And I told Dom too, because they've moved my desk 4 times already this year, and I used to be over by the window and I could see the squirrels, and they were married.
When he pitched the movie, he was told that he should do it as an ensemble film with many different characters working at the office. This was Office Space, the movie we're talking about tonight. Although Office Space has reached a crazy level of cult status on Comedy Central, it was largely ignored in 1999. One huge fan of the movie, who later latched onto it in his own work, is the American anthropologist David Graeber, R.I.P. In 2018, Graeber released one of his most famous works, Bullshit Jobs, A Theory.
Bullshit job is actually kind of the opposite of that. A bullshit job, you're often given a lot of money, you're treated very well, with a great deal of respect, often seen as the person in your family who most made something of yourself. But at the same time, you're secretly haunted by the knowledge that you're not actually doing anything, that if your job didn't exist at all, the world either would change in no way, or even might become a slightly better place.
Graeber's work laments the increasing proliferation of pointless white-collar office jobs filled with meaningless, tedious tasks. Filling out spreadsheets, managing databases, and answering emails. Graeber writes, "Technology has been marshaled to figure out ways to make us all work more. In order to achieve this, jobs have been created that are effectively pointless."
Yeah. You see, we're putting the cover sheets on all TPS reports now before they go out. Did you see the memo about this?
Yeah. Yeah, I have the memo right here. I just forgot. But it's not shipping out till tomorrow, so there's no problem.
Yeah. If you could just go ahead and make sure you do that from now on, that would be great. And I'll go ahead and make sure you get another copy of that memo. Okay?
Yeah, no, I have the memo. I've got it. It's right.
Office Space is rife with this phenomenon. Peter, played by Ron Livingston, has 8 different bosses, middle management, who seem to exist just to nag, annoy, and chastise him about inane, tedious mistakes. Peter's job at the software company Initech is to go through the code and replace all of the 2-digit 20th century numbers with 4-digit numbers for the new millennium.
Well, see, they wrote all this bank software, and to save space, they used 2 digits for the date instead of 4, so like 98 instead of 1998. So I go through these thousands of lines of code, and it doesn't really matter.
Originally, these 2-digit dates were supposedly installed to save time and space. One coworker, Tom, is grilled by 2 efficiency experts trying to downsize the company about what his job even is.
Well, then I just have to ask, why couldn't the customers just take them directly to the software people, huh?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because engineers are not good at dealing with customers.
He supposedly works as a liaison between the software engineers and the customer. The efficiency experts ask, why can't the customer just contact the software engineers directly? The rules of this yuppie office dystopia don't make sense because they aren't meant to if we listen to David Graeber. They're just meant to keep you busy. Another level of hell in the corporate Dante's Inferno has Peter's love interest, Joanna, working at a trendy chain restaurant as a waitress. Joanna is played by a 1990s Jennifer Aniston.
Okay, that's what the flare's about. It's about fun.
Yeah. Okay, so more than, yeah?
Look, we want you to express yourself, okay? Now, if you feel that the bare minimum is enough, then okay, but some people choose to wear more, and we encourage that, okay?
In capitalist realism, Mark Fisher writes about Office Space, calling it a movie about quiet authoritarianism. In keeping with the being smart ethos, the management style in Office Space is a mixture of shirt sleeves informality and quiet authoritarianism. Judge shows the same managerialism presides in the corporate coffee chains where the office workers go to relax. Here, staff are required to decorate their uniforms with 7 pieces of flair, i.e. badges or other personal tokens, to express their creativity and individuality, a handy illustration of the way in which self-expression and creativity have become intrinsic to labor and control societies. In Peter's corporate software company office, there is no hellish attempts at creativity. Each worker is stuck in a cubicle, cut off from their coworkers. The dystopian rhythms, corporate accounts payable, please hold, are broken up only by the irritating sounds of a printer getting slammed or Milton listening to the radio at a reasonable volume between 9 and 11. Mike Judge also levies cutting satire at the office platitudes. The refrain, "Somebody has a case of the Mondays," is used to push off any recognition of genuine hostility or discomfort.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Along with the quiet authoritarianism of middle management comes the passive-aggressive, non-confrontational nature of communication.
We fixed the glitch. So he won't be receiving a paycheck anymore, so it'll just work itself out naturally.
We always like to avoid confrontation whenever possible. Problem is solved from your end.
The irony is that the workplace, increasingly hostile and desperate, is a hotbed of seething rage and resentment. The idea, the original Milton short, was expanded out from a recurring bit where the Milton character is supposed to have a stapler, which is taken by his boss, Bill.
Stapler, but I kept my swing line stapler because it didn't bind up as much, and I kept the staples for the swing line stapler.
Okay, Milton.
And oh no, it's not okay because if they take my stapler, then I'll set the building on fire.
Okay, well that sounds great. I'll talk to you later, all right? Bye.
Stephen Root plays Milton, now a side character, And Bill, genuinely one of the most annoying characters in cinema history, is played by Gary Cole. Bill Lumbergh becomes increasingly cruel, even as his banality makes it hard to reconcile. I think it's important to understand that Peter, clearly the Mike Judge corollary here, who is especially miserable and self-aware, is a slacker, but also a representation of the creative and unfulfilled spirit. Ironically, it's once Peter stops giving a fuck that he finds some semblance of success in this office space. Which makes sense. The rules here don't make sense, and it's only when they're shredded to bits that you can kind of hack the Matrix.
That's just a straight shooter with upper management written all over him.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there. Yeah, he's been real flaky lately. And I'm just not sure that he's the caliber person that we would want for upper management.